I started the greening campaign. It would have been about, you'll hear how it started in a second, about 2007. And we ran it with about 200 communities. And it went really, really well. And then funding and everything else ran out. And we thought that those 200 communities would sail off leading the way and work with other groups. But actually, we learned quite a lot that they didn't. Actually, 90% of them folded. So what we learned from that was the majority of, no offence here, town and parish councils don't have expertise on all levels of sustainability. And why would they have? They're running councils, not green energy programs and things. I expect you're all fairly familiar with this term. And when you're thinking about individuals and people in communities, this term is very powerful. But I think also what happens is a lot of communities and community organisations such as councils have declared this, and then is where do we go from here? So there's a very clear message there. Joe blogs on the street that doesn't have the background in this, doesn't have the knowledge, and can't see what difference they're going to make. What I think happens is they blanket and leave it to somebody else to sort out. The other problem with people taking part is we all use a lot of jargon. PV, why would anybody know what that is if you're not in this line? COP26, CO2 offsetting, all these words we use freely, and the general public haven't got an iota of what you're talking about. All they've got in their head is a polar bear on an iceberg, free, not coping. I ended up, even though I can't stand football, I ended up watching the second half of the match. And I thought, how did that happen when I don't even like football? And I tried to work it out. What is it that football has got that climate change doesn't appear to have? And I think it's people really like to feel included and part of something. People really want to feel encouraged. People want to feel that they're going to be successful. People love to feel that what they're doing is a positive thing. People really, really need things to be simple. And let's face it, football is fairly simple to get. And I came up with this little A5 card. Now, this little A5 card was what I put through all of Petersfield's 10,000 doors. On the back, I'll show you one in a minute. On the back are 8 very simple challenges, really simple. So they're things like turn the lights off when you're not using them, unplug standbys, all of that stuff that we can all do, and it will save us all money. People were talking about it. As you can see, Waterstones had put it in the bookshop, and even more than that, Waitrose, being Waitrose, had it blown up the size of a football pitch probably, and it was stuck in the front of Waitrose. So, and it was in the newspapers and everything. So if you've saved 64 tons of CO2 as a community, and you produce a picture of your community magazine showing 64 hot air balloons over your community, suddenly people realize that when they do small things together, those actions add up to make a really big difference. People are also seeing the value of nature. And I think coronavirus has made us think about what is valuable and how very unpowerful we are in the world. And so we need to understand how we need to adapt to a different climate before it happens, because it will be cheaper to do it before than try and fix it afterwards. We do passionately believe that the parish and town councils, along with community action teams, are the front line for fighting climate change. I believe you know your people. I believe you know in detail about your community, and I believe you know in detail about your landscape and the gaps you have access to people that do know, people that have lived there a long time, and people that have experience. Every single person in your community can be part of it, and every single person has got a value in this. So it's not about experts, it's about people and actions.